What's going on? Welcome back to Perspectives on Tap. I'm your host, Victor.
Oscar.
It's been a while. We haven't really got back to this. We were wanting to drop it weekly, but life fucking happens. But we're back, needless to say. But anyway, let's get right into it. So this week's drink of the week is going to be Haze Double IPA. It's by Firestone Brewery. I personally haven't tried this one.
No, I just found it down
Huh?
the nearest liquor store right now. So.
Hold on, fool.
It's off?
Yeah.
No wonder, bro.
There you go. It's all good.
I've been talking nonsense over But yeah, I literally just... I'm pouring hell about it right now. Yeah, it was like a last minute drink right now.
Yeah, it was very last minute drink, but fuck it. It's still an IPA, it's still a beer. I haven't tried this one. I tried, what's the blue one?
It's the same one, isn't it?
No, it's a different one.
Oh, hazy?
You do the Belgian dip?
Yeah, it's for the mustache. Cheers.
This week, I'm doing it because a lot of shit that's been coming out, it's not even 2 weeks,
Recently, bro.
was all this shit about aliens and UFOs. So I was like, you know what? Why don't we do one on that? And I feel like that's like the original conspiracy theory is aliens.
Oh, yeah. It's always like a big topic. And you always ask people, do you believe in them?
Yeah.
And then someone's going to be like, bro, yes, I seen one. I seen
Yeah.
one. Oh, shut the hell up. Nah, but I did, bro. Nah.
I gotta say, like, I didn't really like chase the belief of even believing in them. I would always say like it would be a fucking trip, you know what I mean? But I wasn't like, oh, they're fucking real. But now with a bunch of shit, a lot of this shit coming out, it's
Yeah. I'm like, I got to see it to believe it. So.
yeah, for sure.
Now that they're coming out with all this shit, and then the files that the CIA came out with, like, yeah, they're real now.
Yeah, it's a fucking trip, huh? To think about.
I don't know. Might be distraction, bro. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely it could be, especially right now. Like all of a sudden, like I said, it hasn't even been 2 weeks, and it's just alien this, alien this. These guys exist. Fucking, we've known about it. All this bullshit, and it's not even 2 weeks. Like, so it's like I think like maybe like it's a, like you said, a distraction. It's like, hey, look over here. Well, this is going on over here, kind of thing. But we'll never know. I mean, until a motherfucking alien lands on the fucking planet and comes out saying like, we exist. That's when I'll be like, okay, they definitely exist.
Yeah.
But for now, I'm still very skeptic.
Yeah, once he's in the podium.
Yeah.
Speaking at the White House, then I'll believe it. Nah.
Yeah. But a lot of the shit coming out is definitely fucking trippy.
Yeah, a lot of stuff's being leaked too.
Yeah.
So.
Like the whole Las Vegas thing.
Yeah, bro. That's the most recent one.
Yeah, that's
this week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or last week?
I think it was like a couple days ago. A few days ago, yeah.
So what happened with that? I've seen videos, but fucking people put their 2 cents in each video.
Yeah. So that's why you got to be kind of careful too, because when you want to find something, your mind will find something, right? Mm-hmm. So in Las Vegas, I don't know if you guys have seen what happened, but so how it started, when I seen it, it was a cop. He was doing, I don't know what, he was already out of his vehicle talking to someone, and he seen a bright fucking blue, it looked like a fucking meteor falling, but it was fucking huge, right? And he just seen it, and he was like, what the fuck is that? And it goes off to another officer. He's in his car, and they're telling them like they're getting a call that this family has fucking aliens in their backyard, right? So then the video shoots over to like the 911 phone call, and I think it's the son, and he's basically saying like, hey, this is not a prank call. Something crashed in our backyard. There's these 2 8-foot creatures in our backyard with big eyes, and they're really shining. They're just looking at us. And the 911 caller is like, okay, you have, very tall creatures in here? He's like, yeah, this is not a prank. This is real.
Are you on drugs?
Are you on shrooms? Are you on fucking mushrooms? Nah, but. So, and then they show the video of that this family took, right? And the first video I seen, it was cut short, right? So it was cut short where they, they try to go into the backyard and then they fucking run away and shit, like they see something. And then it got cut off, right? So that video took off on TikTok.
That's when I went viral.
And people fucking just started saying, you could see something behind the fence over here. You could see a face. You could see hands. And I was like, that's reaching a little bit. You know what I mean? Because like I said, once your mind is set on finding something, it's going to fucking find something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, I waited a little bit, and sure enough, the whole video surfaced. And, I watched it, and I think it's the mom. And she legit zooms in, bro. Like, she fucking goes into the backyard, zooms into where they're seeing these creatures. She zooms in, and I couldn't see anything. I mean, me personally, I was expecting to see some Men in Black shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like a fucking
big ass cockroach.
Yeah. Some sugar water.
Yeah. That's what I want to see, but I want to see like an actual picture. I mean, I've seen
actual alien.
Yeah, they show flying saucers, but like, how does an alien actually look?
Like on the movie Signs.
Yeah.
At the birthday party scene where the fucking thing actually walks all crazy.
Muévete, niño, muévete. Or what is he? Yeah. I love that part. But that part scared the shit out of me.
Me too. And I was like, bro, that shit terrified me, bro. That's why I was like, what the fuck? Because ghosts, I feel like I'm more scared of fucking aliens than ghosts, bro. Like, legit, bro. Because that's a whole ass creature. I mean, the thing of ghosts is like, it's not, it's phantom. It's not really there or whatever. But an alien, dog?
Yeah. Your mind is fucking all the possibilities.
Yeah, bro. But yeah, that was.
But going off topic.
Oh yeah, I know.
Wasn't that Joaquin Phoenix?
Oh yeah, it was Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking walked the line and shit.
Yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, it's a trip. But so that happened, right? So, so that family went on and they went a little viral. And then the news came out saying that the family all of a sudden disappeared.
No way.
But it wasn't true.
Oh, okay. Like they're just.
Yeah, they were just saying some shit.
Just feeding shit.
Yeah, so I was like, what the fuck is going on here? You know what I mean? So
I fucking just fed into that shit right now.
So exactly. See how you reacted?
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's how people react, right?
Fucking makes sense.
And once they hear it on there, they just keep saying this is the same little rumor. And when it gets corrected, the damage is done, right? But it is what it is. So not even a couple of days later, maybe a few days, I forgot the date that this guy actually came out. I want to say maybe it was like the 9th or the 10th of June. And his name was David, I don't want to say his name wrong, David Grush, something like that. But he was a senior member of the intelligence community, right? So he was high ranking. And he basically came out saying that, and mind you, this is like a fucking full-on interview, bro. Like a legit journalist, either from the Washington Post or the New York Post, interviewed him, but they didn't post through their media. They went through some other media. I don't know why. They said that.
Oh, like those live feeds where they're just.
No, it was like a legit, like it was on fucking TV.
Oh.
But yeah, you could probably find it on YouTube. But he came out saying that he was a high-ranking official, fucking, and basically saying the government has been collecting crashed UFOs, and that he's saying that they have like 12 in their possession for sure, and some pilots. So they have aliens, right? So he's coming out saying that, bro. So mind you, this is few days after the whole Vegas thing. So when I seen this, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Pilots.
Yeah, pilots, right? You hear pilots, you're like, yeah. But then I started thinking about it, I was like, UFOs, pilots, that's a fucking alien, right? Yeah. But he came out saying that they have, at least 11 to 12 UFOs, and they've had them for decades, bro. Like they've been collecting them, like for a long time, right? Because it's been a thing since. When did Roswell happen? Like 1940 or some shit?
Oh, fuck. Yeah, a long time.
It was a long fucking time ago, huh?
Yeah.
Supposedly that was the first one. I don't know if it was. I don't know, but
documented.
Document exactly. So he said that they've been collecting them for a very long time, and the government collects shit like that. What are they gonna do? They're gonna fucking experiment on them. They're gonna check out the technology, see how it works, all that shit. Obviously, it's just us as humans. That's the first thing we're gonna fucking do. We're gonna figure out how shit works.
Take advantage of it. Right?
We're gonna reverse engineer it.
How do we sell this?
How do we use it?
Yeah.
How do we use it to our advantage to overpower the other countries? And that's just how...
Greed.
Exactly. Greed and power. Yeah, so, I mean...
Do they have pictures of the UFOs, the 12 different?
No, he just came out... It's just an interview. Oh. He didn't really come out with pictures or anything like that.
Just post it up in someone's garage.
12-car
garage, bro. Come check it out.
But imagine that, like, it's a trip to think about, bro. Like, everything that, if that comes out as true, if the government comes out saying, like, yeah, this is true. Yeah. What else are they lying about?
See, but it wouldn't surprise me, like if it
I feel like we're in a time right now where nothing will surprise anyone anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like the shock factor is gone, bro. Like that's why I've been fucking. I remember saying this a few years back, like when COVID was a big thing and they came out with a bunch of other shit. I remember saying like, if a fucking alien lands right now, like I wouldn't even be fucking surprised. I'm like, oh well, there's that on the bingo card. You know what I mean? That's all we fucking need.
Yeah.
Everything else happened. We went through a fucking pandemic, fucking killer bee. Remember the killer bee shit?
Yeah. Oh,
remember that shit?
I hella forgot about that.
Yeah, like fucking just bullshit after bullshit. So now I feel like everyone's desensitized. I don't give a fuck no more.
That's a good word for it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, because bro, watch the news. There's always something crazy going on, but
yeah,
life goes on.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, what do you think? You think that's true? What are you saying?
Yeah.
Why lie?
I think it is, but it's just like he could yell it out, and people are just gonna be like,
oh, that's crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
they're like, you can say whatever you want. They're not gonna believe you.
Yeah. From this segment on, there's a lot of different stories, so I'm gonna show you guys what we're watching. That way you could see what we watched, and you could make your own decision on what you think. So, after this guy came out doing this, whistleblower thing, on June 12th, mind you, today is the 15th. I'm gonna try to get this out as quick as possible, so it could be as fresh. But on June 12th, there's a doctor by the name of Stephen Greer. And this guy has been researching, this whole UFO phenomenon for like fucking 33 years. Yeah, so he has a lot of information, bro.
It's life's work.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. Mind you, he's a regular medical doctor. He would work in the ER and shit. He started this when he was like in his 20s, I think. And now he's already retired. So he just, and he emphasized on it too that this is all volunteer work. He's not getting paid for any of this. Him and everyone that's helping him do it, all of it's volunteer work. So, and he provides a lot of documentation for all of this shit. So he has government documents, for one. He has 145 top secret facilities and the bases, the map for them. He has 752 witness testimonies and 122 UFO crash retrieval cases. Right. Some documents include the names of the witnesses, and a lot of other ones they provided intel, and whose names were, unknown, and they're not included in there because a lot of them want to be, they don't want to be named either because a lot of people are scared to get fucking whacked.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because a lot of these people that did come forward and a lot of these witnesses, they got threatened. A lot of them, and he goes on in the video, and I'll link the video in the description so you guys can check it out because it's a fucking trip. It's 3 hours long, mind you. It's a full on fucking brief of everything. It's a fucking trip. So he goes on in the beginning of the video. He obviously, he lets everyone know what the fuck's going on and how the government should handle it. Right, and he emphasizes that it's not our government doing it. He's saying that this is a very black, shadowy, illegal organization that's doing this. Right, obviously they got money.
It's off the books then.
Yeah, fuck yeah. And he said there's members. They're like, some of them are like part, some CIA or whatever. There's. Obviously, like they have to have clearance to know some of the shit that they know. Obviously, to know where a fucking UFO crashes. Obviously, they got connections and they got money, right? So he goes on to list the witnesses and shit like that. How the government should handle it. He shows you a few pictures. Obviously, they're not. He has one picture of they took from a plane. But what he does is when he calls up some witnesses to talk, he had, when people were describing what they seen, people will sketch it out and then they would do a 3D render of it so you could kind of understand. You could see it while they tell the story. I guess now Congress is pushing for, unveiling of all this shit. So this guy right away, he's like, once he heard that, he's like, oh, fucking shit, I got all this shit, don't trip. I got names. I got fucking places where you could go look. I got, he has everything, bro. 33 years of, and mind you, a lot of these, he emphasizes too that a lot of these stories and what these witnesses are telling them, some of them connect and they're exactly the fucking same. And these people have never came into contact with each other, and a lot of them are anonymous, right? So they match. So he's like, okay, then this has to be fucking legit, right? Yeah, he gives recommendations for Congress on how to handle it, because mind you, a lot of the shit that these people they were involved in this illegal shit, right? They just hired them. They were taking orders. A lot of them were military. So he came out. One of the things I remember was in Congress. He was telling them how the Congress should handle it is that these people were going in on this and they didn't know what the fuck was going on, and it was illegal, obviously. So he's like, give them, let them be free of this bullshit. They didn't know, they just fucking threw them in. Throw all these witnesses into witness protection programs so they don't get whacked, because a lot of them, he emphasized too, that a lot of them get thrown with execution to shut the fuck up, not to say what the fuck you're talking about, right? And he also goes into, which I thought was fucking cool, he goes into saying that obviously we have, from finding all these things, this, I guess I want to call it a secret government, I guess. From the crafts and shit that they fucking found and the reverse engineering, they're able to build like UFOs that are like man-made UFOs. So like a lot of the shit that people do see, like UFOs, are man-made.
Oh, okay.
Right? And he has fucking schematics.
Like government's attempt to like recreate.
Yeah, like he has schematics, how it works.
Their technology and stuff.
All of that shit. Like he has schematics and fucking how everything works, the science behind it. Mind you, there's physicians helping them research all this shit, fucking regular scientists, all that shit. It's a huge fucking group doing this. And he goes into going into this everything, all this reverse engineering and shit. So he goes into technology that It's under the patent office for like 0 point energy. He also goes into I forgot what he called it, but he's basically free energy, and he goes into it too, saying that if we have this tech, mind you, this will take place after our government, all governments around the world, were to prosecute this secret government and take everything away from them, and take the knowledge that they have and all that shit. He said it will take maybe like around 20 years. It would eliminate fucking world hunger. It would eliminate poverty. It's free energy, right? It would eliminate everything. Like it's kind of a pipe dream, but
it's not a business.
Yeah, exactly. Free energy, homie. You got oil companies and shit. So that's why I think it's very. There's a lot more people involved that want. They don't want this shit to go out. So like in patent offices, it's like, I guess it's on the patent offices. If someone comes up with some shit, they fucking flag them, and they. What was it? I don't want to say a cease and desist, but if someone figures it out, then they're like, "Fuck you." You know what I mean? Like, you're flagged. Fuck out of here, bro.
I came in with it first. I talked to him first.
Yeah, but that's crazy, bro. Like,
see, like, I don't care about all that. I just want to know, like, the knowledge that they know. If they know.
Wait, who?
Like aliens and shit.
You want to know their knowledge?
Like, I want to know. So, if, say, like, we saw one right now.
Uh-huh.
Like, what would you ask him?
You want to pick the brain?
Exactly.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not trying to like make money off this guy.
100%. Yeah. Fuck yeah, bro. And
grab his legs. Nah.
Hey, hold the motherfucker down. Hold on.
How'd you get here? No, I'm just saying.
I don't know what I would ask him. What would you?
But you know how some people think, like, bro, why would you
come up? They want to come up.
Like, why would you hold these fools hostage for so long?
Yeah, and he also comes out to say too that they're not hostile at all.
Oh.
At all. So it's like they're very like peaceful. But mind you, they're very more intelligent, more enlightened. Obviously they're older than us, so I'm pretty sure they've seen some shit. You know what I mean? So it's like,
yeah, that's where I get that like conspiracy that they're like evolved humans. Like, they kind of have like the same body shape, but their brains obviously are bigger. Their fingers.
Yeah.
No genitalia.
You think so?
Nah,
I was like, God damn, you fucking dissected one or what?
They don't need sex, bro.
Yeah, like I said, they are like, the way they describe them, I'm just saying like, they're enlightened and they're peaceful. You know what I mean? And I think that's why they haven't fucking come down, because we're very violent.
Yeah.
Very violent, very greedy. Yeah. So I mean, it makes sense for them not to touch down and talk to us. But if they did come down and talk to our leaders, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyway. So I haven't seen it yet. I'm excited to see it. But he goes into another documentary that he released. It's called The Lost Century and How to Reclaim It. So he talks about all of these things that all this technology that us as humans would benefit from, like as a whole. You know what I mean? It's not something to profit from. It's something that, all like free energy. I mean, come on, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Who likes paying a fucking light bill? No one. You know what I mean? Yeah. Not only that, free energy, that means it'll go into vehicles. You have to pay for gas. You know what I mean? Like shit like that. It's and that's just one. You know what I mean?
Like, bunch of electricians like out of a job.
That's a good point, bro. I didn't even think about that.
Just throw their fucking pencil down. Fuck this.
I was like, God damn it.
It's a school for
fucking aliens.
You're giving this shit out for free, though.
But
someone's gonna get pissed off.
There's always, bro. Us as humans, we could never be happy. There's always gonna be one side angry and one side happy with it.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. They need to benefit from it. they can't benefit from it, they're not gonna fucking put it out.
Homie, you gotta think about it too like this, like, and I'm not a fucking liberal at all, okay? I want to make that fucking very clear. But
Hippie,
like the fucking Republicans, they don't even like people crossing the fucking border. Imagine if aliens were to come over here.
Yeah.
How do you think they'll react?
Yeah. Well, that's a term, illegal alien.
Kind of hostile, right? They'll be kind of like, fuck that. Send them back where we're good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So when's he gonna pay taxes? So like, how is he gonna contribute? Oh yeah, definitely.
But you don't know how people are gonna react. Obviously, you know what I mean? Like the whole political scheme right now. Mind you, right now some crazy shit's going on. I'm not gonna fucking cover right now, but us as a country can't agree on shit. Homie, you know what I mean? Like, imagine if fucking aliens get involved. Come on, bro. Like, it's gonna be messy. But yeah, so that documentary about the whole lost technology that we can reclaim from this secret government kind of shit that's going on. I think it'll be fucking sick because I think it'll go more into like medicine and shit.
Oh, okay.
Like med beds and shit. You go in there and like say you have cancer and you lay down in this bed and it just fucking heals your body. I think that kind of shit, I think they have tapped into it, obviously. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I imagine having that on the planet, bro. That'd be fucking insane.
Yeah. Nah,
you know what I mean? Like how
someone out there is like, nah.
Exactly. They're profiting from the medicine.
Population's getting too big now.
That's true. Like Bill Gates and them, their population control is a big thing for them. But imagine that though. Like, imagine all the kids that have cancer and shit. That'd be perfect, I think. But anyway.
Well, who's profiting? Nah.
The fucking big pharma, homie.
Who's profiting off
big
those
pharmas? Yeah. So, anyway, on to the next one. This one fucking tripped me out, right? Mind you, this Dr. Greer came out saying that there is UFOs, or they call them UAPs now, which is unidentified aerial phenomenon, right?
WAP.
Some fucking WAP. What the fuck was it? Yeah, unidentified aerial phenomenon. So UAP. They don't call them UFOs anymore. But, in layman's terms, UFOs, whatever. Okay. So this guy's fucking story tripped me the fuck out. Right? So, mind you, this guy... Oh, anyway. So Dr. Greer was saying there is UFOs that are alien in nature. But there is UFOs or UAPs that are man-made. Because... And going back to the first whistleblower, remember when I was talking about before?
Yeah.
He was saying they've been collecting them for fucking decades. So they've been reverse engineering these shits. So they figured it out, right? Not as good, but they fucking work. And they move fast, like regular UFOs, right? And they're not like jets and shit. So this guy's fucking story, Michael Herrera, and I'm going to add this fucking clip for you guys because I need you guys to hear this shit. It's fucking insane.
That shit blew my mind.
Yeah. But we're going to watch it right now.
Well, thank you all for being here. What I'm about to tell you hasn't been something that I've disclosed until recently in the help of Dr. Greer, among other people, so I appreciate your help with this. In 2009, my unit, which was most degraded infantry battalion in the entire Marine Corps, which was 2nd Battalion, 5th Marines, was called in to do humanitarian assistance operations out in the Philippines, which was Operation Quetzana, which we were attached to the 31st Marine Expeditionary Unit, which conducts maritime operations all throughout Southeast Asia, in conjunction with the 7th Naval Fleet, which houses one landing helo deck, or LHD, among LPDs, which is what I was on, called a USS Denver. Ironically, that's where I'm from, so kind of felt like home. Now, during that operation in Quetzana in the Philippines, they had actually heard that a tsunami and earthquake hit the western part of Sumatra, which is western Indonesia, Padang City more specifically. Out of all the ships in the 7th Fleet, the ship I was on was the only one that was routed to that location, which was oddly strange, but then again, this is my first humanitarian operation, so I don't know the logistics of it, but if the skipper of the ship would probably know that information. So this happened September 30th. We ended up getting called and dropped anchor around October 8th. We are briefed in the ward room, which is the officers' mess, where they eat like their cafeteria per se. We are briefed that there is some of President Obama's family members that are present on either in the city or somewhere near there. They had a SEAL platoon that was ready to go to retrieve those people. Us knowing well that Indonesia is also the second largest terrorist capital where they train these guys, and they'll send them up to whatever theater of operation where anybody wants a piece of the United States, they ship them up to go handle it. So we know that well, and we were then briefed that we were going to be armed during this operation, just to also provide security for the transportation coming to basically drop off medical supplies, sheltering items, food, purified water, things like that. So they ended up selecting certain Marines to go ahead and do this. We were only in sticks of six Marines, so it had NCOs on top of other Marines to help with that. So we again boarded CH-53 Super Stallions, which are gigantic helicopters that are roughly 100 feet long. I love the design of them. It's my personal favorite. But we ended up boarding this on the ship, and we flew to the southwestern part of the city, which is Padang. Looked a lot different through satellite imagery that I've recently seen. Back then is a lot different, especially because most of it was decimated, on fire, rubble, flooded, you name it, basically the worst kind of scenario you could ever see. From then, once we touched down on this landing strip, it took probably about 2 minutes. And then again, the pilots got radio confirmation to go ahead and drop us into certain parts. So we again dropped to a hasty LZ, which took probably about 6-7 minutes to fly to from that position. And we dropped to a hasty LZ. We got off the bird, and what we were instructed to do at that point through the briefing was to push to a high ground at least to get better observation. As a Marine, the tactical advantage that you get from having a observation from a top point is you see everything clearly. You could also coordinate from there. At that time, we had did a tactical column, which we were able to get eyes on pretty much everything, especially with 6 Marines, so we have the effective communication at that point. If we need to engage, we can properly do it within the amount of ammunition we've got, as well as the weapons that we got, which were only M16A4s. So at that point, we decided to push forward. We trekked up about 300 meters. At this time, I have a Panasonic camera that has the ability to take photographs. It has a ability to take videos, obviously. When we got to this high point, I was taking video camera, and I had actually turned to the north, which just kind of slopes down. And right there was something that stuck out like a sore thumb, especially with jungle terrain, things like that. Vegetation, very green stuff, was something that stuck out so well. It's always going to be basically imprisoned in my mind for the rest of my life, and it has been for 14 years, was something that was rotating, and it was transitioning between colors like a light matte gray as well as a dark matte black. So in between, that's what it kept, and it was very smooth. We had all looked at each other as we got online, and we decided to investigate. The further thing I want to say is that I actually took pictures and video of this before we actually trucked down. We had a dump pouch where we basically, if we expend ammunition, we want to retain our magazines, so we put those there. So I dropped my camera in there, and we decided to go down. We didn't have any communications, which was weird, and that was a very odd thing, and it's something that either could have been good that we didn't, or it could have been something that could have been very bad. And it just however you want to look at that. Once we got down this slope, we were approximately 150 meters away from this craft. When we all got to the point where we could see it, just like behind here, again, Mr. Schratt, phenomenal job. You can see that the craft here actually was roughly about 300 feet. And the reason why I know this is because you could fit 3 of the helicopters that we flew in on underneath this craft. It was rotating a clockwise motion. The panels here that you see, the black ones, at least 3 of them, was like a Vanta black, very dark. I have no idea what that was. On the very top, there was like a pyramid structure that you could see the shadowing of it, which would elicit that was a pyramid structure. And it had an audible hum to it. Kind of like a guitar amp if you were to unplug that, or like a transformer. It's very audible. If I was to hear that sound again, I could tell you, okay, it's probably this thing or something similar to that. It's very distinct. And the way that it was floating, which was about 10 or 15, 20 feet off the ground, it was kind of a very eerie thing to see because I've never seen anything like that in my life. When we got up to that point, we were then intercepted by a team of soldiers or rogue military force, if you will. The most concerning thing about this is they all had American dialects, They had American gear. They had OTVs, black. They had black camouflage. They had very similar setups to what we have, but more high speed, something what you would see special operation groups these days have. They had no insignias on. They had no ranks. They had nothing that would signify who they were. They had black ball caps. They had M4A4s that were equipped with ACOGs, which was a step up from what we were currently issued, as well as PEC-16 IR illumination devices that you use for night vision and night patrols, things like that. So we were engaged. We had 8 of them put the drop on us. You could audibly hear them blow the safety selectors off. They basically started screaming at us, telling us what we were doing, we were not allowed to be there, who were we with, what were we doing there, threatened that they could kill us right then and there. We could get lost in the jungle. They could throw us out of a helicopter if they needed to. It was very nerve-wracking at that point, especially looking to my fellow Marines and seeing the reactions on their faces too. We were all freaking scared, to say none the less. So with that being said, each Marine was then patted down along with myself. We had our weapons taken from us. They were basically cleared in condition 4, which means they had no round chamber, no magazine in. They dumped our magazines out of our mag pouches as well onto the deck. And then again, because of Marine Corps order, how things are with that, we were told to keep our military ID in our left breast pocket. So they knew that. They asked for our military identification. We gave it to them, obviously, because they have guns in our face. So provided that to them. They had something that looked like modern day smartphones, but this is 2009, so it's not really as high tech compared to obviously today. So they took some pictures of our military ID, and then they had something that reminded me of a BAT system, which is a biometrics tracking system that we would use. This is for insurgents or anything like that. It would take fingerprints, it would take retina scans, it would take pictures of them and document them. So if there was other militaries that were coming to relieve our post, they would actually have this information too to know who they are dealing with. That's what it reminded me of, and I had trouble scanning the IDs. As this is going on, we're going back between these guys as well as what's going on in the background. At that time, there was 4 of these trucks, which were F-350s. They were up armored. They were pretty beefy. They had weapon cases that I've seen before because of something that we've actually loaded weapons into. They had 2 of them that were in the back of each truck. They also had these containers that was illustrated right here, which come to find out through recent revelations from yesterday from somebody who came forward to Dr. Greer. I don't know who they are, but what they had told him and what he has told me is that this gentleman knows exactly what these were used for because they had like a cylinder on the front, which is either for oxygen or what I hypothesized was for vacuum sealing, which lead me to suspect that they were smuggling narcotics or drugs. Come to find out it's more disturbing than that. This gentleman has first-hand account with this and says that it was for people. It's very disheartening, especially because that part of the world have already gotten ravaged, and it's something that is very hard to see right now because of what I've witnessed, and it's very disheartening. And this is why I'm up here. So they loaded these onto this platform that you can see right there, and as they got up there, like I said, I was going back and forth. These guys are still searching our stuff. They're still, pointing their weapons at us. And after the last 2 trucks that I saw that actually got onto that platform unloaded, they had 4 guys in each truck that would unload everything. However they did it, I can't tell you because, again, I was focused on this as well. And these trucks drove off. As that happened, this platform actually rose up off the ground itself. The top part of the craft actually met it down in the middle like this, and it formed into one solid piece. It floated right above the tree line. As soon as it was able to break that tree line, it actually had on the corners of each of these, which was an octagonal shape craft, by the way, on each corner it emanated a light. It was either red, yellow, green, or blue. Only those 4 colors I can distinctly remember. It didn't make any additional high-pitched sounds when it rose up. Once it got past that tree line, it shot over to the left, basically where the ocean was, at so fast, I would estimate probably 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 miles an hour instantaneous like that. There was no rotor wash, no exhaust that would disturb the trees, vegetation. The coconuts that were on these trees were not even touched. It produced no sonic boom. This thing was so fast. So as that happened, they basically had told us to turn around. As we turned around, kind of a couple things that went through my head at that point was that we're done. they actually started loading our magazines into our back into our vest in a way that would be hard to get them to put them into a weapon and to actually, charge the weapon and actually put it around in a chamber. So they put those in. They actually slung our M16s on their back for us, but when they did it, the Marine Corps not really issued the best gear, especially at that time. So the slings back then were, I would say, subpar quality, cut my neck pretty good, and they kind of went in that motion and made sure they were secured so we couldn't really get them as easy. And they escorted us back up this slope. And they told us we were not allowed to look back. Two, that we were not able to talk about this. They were actually, two of the guys were actually talking about either, hey, should we smoke these guys right now? That's what they kept saying. It was kind of feeding more into the fear at that point because, again, I don't know who these guys are. I know they had American gear. They had American sidearms as well. If these guys have actually taken an oath like we have, and then why they're going against people like us and even willing to kill servicemen who just even stumbled onto this, it just blows my mind, and it's very sick. So as we broke atop this hill, we decided to book him. And we ran back to the LZ. There was a gunnery sergeant that was attached to the ship. I don't know this gentleman personally, but I know he's very unhappy with seeing us because we had actually had our weapons slung. We were not combat effective at that point if we needed to be. He asked specifically why we were. We didn't tell him exactly why. We just came up with an excuse. And then we waited for the next CH-53 to approach, and we got on board, flew back to the ship. We turned our weapons in back to the armory. We took our gear off back in our berthing, and we went upstairs to be debriefed by an admiral that I've never seen before, and it was kind of somebody who was out of place. I don't know if he has any kind of relevance to this at all, but if that's the case, if he does, I hope he comes forward with that information. It would be very helpful. So as we're going to go ahead and fast track to a couple days later, which we end up in Subic Bay, which is like the party town in the Philippines. So we had 3 days there of liberty. The first night I come back, because we had to report back to the ship each night, we were not allowed to stay out in town. My rack was on my camera was on my rack, and the memory card that was in it was out, and my battery was out of the camera, missing as well. So all of that was missing. The only thing that was there was the camera. Mind you, I had my locker secured. I had other stuff that was basically piled on top of that camera. So whoever did it knew what the hell happened. So after that, the other thing that was also notable with that was each of the Marines that were with me also had their cell phones taken that they brought. Even though they didn't bring them on the mission, all their stuff was missing. The other stuff, the other people in the actual platoon never had their stuff touched. It was only us 6 that were affected. So fast tracking back when we returned back to Okinawa, one day I had got a call from the duty that was in the barracks. Each barracks has like a duty of Marines that are making sure there's still order, things like that. He had been told that I needed to go up to the CP, so he informed me, so I had hightailed it up there. And oddly enough, there was nobody in the building, except for one gentleman who was wearing Air Force dress blues that was missing a name tag, which I understand in Air Force policy or regulations that they were supposed to wear a name tag, and he did not have that. I gave him the proper greeting of the day, gave him the salute. He had pulled me into an office, and he had said, "You are not allowed to tell anybody in your chain of command. I don't care if it's a general. I don't care if it's anybody. You are not allowed to talk about what happened. You can go to prison for this, or you could be killed." So he slid over a non-disclosure agreement, and it had 2 things that I can recall to this day as I quickly skimmed through it, because again, I had thought we were going to forget about this whole mess. And one was said TSSCI, and the other said Indonesia. There's only 2 things I can recall out of that. So I was forced to sign that. I signed it, and I had got the hell out of there as quick as I could. Before I did that, I tried to ask him who he was, and he would not tell me who he was. So I hightailed it back, and I have not spoken about it ever since I was able to recently because what the law passed. But that is my account for you guys. This is also an urging for anybody in Washington, D.C. who's a political figure. Please get this under control, because there are people who are either being hurt or killed by this, and it's something that needs to be addressed. Please.
So what do you think about this clip about, this fucking Marine going to Indonesia and shit?
Oh, man.
That was a trip.
So, yeah, when it tripped me out was the whole thing, about the kids, or not kids, but people.
Right.
So I was like, what? Like what? That just threw me off. I was like,
Yeah, I did
but
not.
now it makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean,
so the first thing that clicked in my head, bro. So obviously, when he said like these containers are meant for fucking people, right? And mind you, this is not his conclusion. He thought it was for fucking drugs, right?
Yeah.
But there was another, like I said, there was another whistleblower that knew exactly what those containers were for, and he said it was for people. So that's why he was like, what the fuck? So that made him feel worse, and that's what made him come out like, nah, this is fucked up. Obviously, human trafficking, like if you guys didn't check it out, episode 2 on Spotify, we don't have a video, but episode 2 on Spotify, we talk about human trafficking. It's a very fucked up subject to talk about, but we did it. And I feel like we're probably going to cover it again. But it makes sense, right? So human trafficking is on its way to be the number one moneymaker for the black market, right? So obviously the people that are involved in this have fucking money. They want to keep making money, right? So when I heard that, I was like, what the that's the last thing I was thinking about.
I know. I
You
heard
know what I
it.
mean?
I was like, no way, he just said that.
Yeah, I was like, there's no fucking way. Like,
How did we hear it? Bro?
you're thinking UFOs, you're thinking alien exploration, space, whatever. But when he said, well, mind you, this is a man-made fucking UFO. So obviously they're gonna use this technology to their benefit. Like I said, greedy motherfuckers. They're gonna want to find out a way to abuse it. So when he said that, it like clicked. I was like, that fucking makes 100% sense. Like, why not use this technology to benefit from it? And that's what they're doing. Because I'm almost positive. I mean, they were using jets or like planes and shit to smuggle these kids from Indonesia or people from Indonesia and shit. But now that they have technology, mind you, this was in 2009, which is even fucking crazier to me, bro. You know what I mean? It's
upsetting, bro. It's upsetting.
Hell yeah,
Fuck,
bro.
man.
And he comes out. He said it's very disheartening. You know what I mean? And it's fucked, bro. Like, but it makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, it all makes sense. Like, obviously, the people that are involved,
Probing.
the people.
So the stories are true.
Yeah, the stories of probing are true. But yeah, I mean, it makes sense. So like, this is.
I was hoping for drug. No.
This is a very black and illegal. Like this guy said, Dr. Greer said, this is a very black, shadowy, illegal. I don't know what to call it.
Shady.
Just like a shadow government, I guess you could call it, because there's people from different kinds of governments that do get involved in it because
Just taking advantage of the whole.
yeah, because human trafficking, obviously, right, shadowy, but with this, you know what I mean? Like, this is fucking insane. This is crazy, bro. Bro, when I heard that, it fucking blew my mind. I was like, and mind you, I was watching this. I was making my girl watch it too. Like, this is right when I got home from work, so I go home like around 11 p.m. So I was just watching in the living room.
Wake up, watch this.
And I was watching this. No, I was in the living room. She came out from the room, and we were watching it. And mind you, we watched the first dude, which is very he was very bland. So she ended up falling asleep. I didn't know that, right? So this guy came out and he's saying his shit, and he says that, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And I look over, she's asleep. I was like, "Oh, god damn it! I can't even I can't even trip with something." You know what I mean? Like, I was like, "Fuck, bro! Like, that's what I wanted her to see." You know what I mean? Like, shit like that.
Yeah. When you showed me that video, I was just like, I look at you like, bro, no way did I just hear that right.
Yeah, it's insane, bro. It's insane, and yeah. I mean, it's crazy, bro. Right?
Out of all the things this technology could be used for,
They use it for bad.
it's an evil world we live in.
It's fucking very evil, and it's always gonna be like that. That's why they're shying away from free energy, because why? Because they could just make money off of us, and they're using this to make money. Did the black
Whoever's
market
funding
shit?
it, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's all under one hand, bro, and that comes down to another conspiracy that we'll go into later.
So they say it isn't the government, but it has to be a little
There's
part.
people that are part of the government that are involved.
Part, yeah.
There's no way that they have that connections without
Sure,
being
it's government funded somehow.
somewhere.
Some way, shape,
Yeah.
or form.
It's probably all the money that's supposed to go to our fucking roads, and the fucking no one's roads are fucking getting repaired, bro.
I know, I got like 2 flats already. I'm not trying to talk about that right now.
Yeah, but I mean, there's this. So anyway, so on to the next witness. This guy, his shit was kind of crazy too, but he kind of got a lot like off topic a lot because he had like a brain injury, and he would work at these I forgot what you fucking call them, but they're like test sites for army. Like they go in there and they train and shit. And I guess there's been a lot of people that died in training there, right? Because that's the kind of training.
Is it middle of nowhere?
Yes.
Okay.
Middle of fucking nowhere, bro. That guy's story is pretty fucking crazy too. But like I said, he's kind of everywhere. So I was like, but if you guys want to watch the whole thing, like I said, I'll leave the description of I'll leave the video in the description down below so you guys can check it out. I'm just covering the shit that kind of like I was like, what the fuck, kind of for me.
With credibility.
Yeah, I mean, not only credibility, all of them sound the same, bro.
Yeah.
All of them sound way out, obviously, right? Because
Yeah.
this is something that's not normal for us to hear, right?
Yeah.
All of them sound way out.
But these people
But
have
these,
like
yeah, the ones that caught my attention, I was like, well, they were entertaining to watch, I should say. They had more of that, you know.
but it's
entertaining
documented.
feel.
It's not just
All
like
of it.
someone with like a
All of it's documented.
yeah.
I'm just waiting for all this shit to come out on paper, and I don't know if they released it yet, but I guarantee you it's on its way, dog.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is, I guess the Congress is pushing for it heavily now. Like that's why I wanted to cover it today, because all of a sudden it's a huge subject. And that's why I'm like, is this fucking legit, or is this some shit that they're fucking just bullshitting so we don't look somewhere else?
Could be.
Because mind you, have all these shit with these presidents going on.
A lot of shit going on.
You know what I mean? I don't want to fucking say the names because I don't want to fucking get flagged and shit. But you have all this shit with bribery and fucking, you know what I mean? Like all this shit's going on. I don't know if this is just something to make us say, hey, look over here. You know what I mean?
Have this under my sleeve.
Yeah. So the other one that fucking tripped me the fuck out was, his name is Eric Hecker, and he worked in Antarctica at this base.
Yeah, play that one, bro. That was a good one.
That shit fucking,
That shit had
tripping.
me baffled. I
was
like,
dumbfounded.
I had to stop, but I'm like,
Yeah, bro. Like, what the fuck is it? Like,
did
how?
I hear that correctly?
Yeah. So I'll throw in some of these snippets so you guys can fucking check it out.
Hello, everybody. Ladies, gentlemen, members of the press. I'm very happy that you're giving me this attention and this information attention because it needs to get out to the world. I will start, since we have to be brief. I have already given all pertinent information and supporting documentation to the Senate Intelligence Committee and ARROW. They informed me that all of my information will be recorded for public record and shared with Congress. It is that important. In 2010, I was selected to go down to the South Pole Station in Antarctica for an entire year by Raytheon Polar Services as an employee of a third-party contractor for the National Science Foundation. I function in a dual-role capacity as a tradesman and a firefighter. My responsibilities required me to be more informed than most of my crew and offered me complete access to the facilities. What I learned from this unique experience needs to be shared with the entire world. The technology at the South Pole Station certainly can do what it is presented as its primary purposes, and unfortunately, much more. The Ice Cube neutrino detector is presented as a passive listening device for the purposes of the science as presented. But I'm going to skip right through the chase, folks. I have provided documentation that proves that the 5,160, what they call DOMs, that are embedded in the ice can actually transmit at 2,047 volts each. That gives us a long list of things to consider. It is effectively a multifaceted directed energy weapons platform that I will list rapidly a few things that it can do. Vehicle detection. We're learning that these off-world craft, on-world craft, ours or other nations, are also emitting neutrinos. So this makes the South Pole Station effectively an air traffic control station for this new level of equipment that nobody's discussing. In addition to the ability to detect neutrinos and the exotic vehicles, I have provided documentation that shows that this is also a system for faster-than-light communications. In the past, Gary McKinnon has hacked NASA, found the off-world fleet, the list of captains, and it's apparent that if we have faster-than-light vehicles moving throughout the system, we're going to need faster-than-light communications. This is that facility. Unfortunately, I have other bad news. The season that I was there, 2010 to 2011, we converted from construction to operations and maintenance in both the elevated station and the detector array. Unfortunately, when they first fired it up, that was when we had the earthquakes in Christchurch, New Zealand. There was 2 incidental shots before they were able to target it correctly. This is an earthquake-generating device as well. This is the weapons of war that we have to deal with now and what Raytheon's hiding. There's an ELF system at the South Pole Station that when I arrived, I was told it was off, dismantled, and completely defunct. In my work, I will rapidly just tell you, I had to figure out the circuitry for certain other repairs, and I found that this system is in fact completely energized, up and running, and being utilized with the other systems for nefarious purposes as well. The Atmospheric Research Observatory is in what we call the clean air sector. I witnessed myself a very powerful green laser shooting out of the top of this facility into the cosmos. This, I believe, is a secondary form of long-range communications and/or a defense system. I am not saying that we need to be scared of anything that's out there, but please understand the military-industrial complex is happy to invest all of your money in alleviating their fears. A question of power comes into play for all of these facilities that are present. I assure you, I knew what was going on, I knew the load demands of the facility, and all of these new items exceed the demand for the systems that I was presented. I am doing due diligence and research. I believe there is either a secondary power supply there that is either nuclear, that was there prior to the start of the Antarctic Treaty, which prohibits such things, and or that there is some sort of exotic power supply system there that just is not in the verbiage of the treaty, so it negates the responsibility to the parties involved. I think that pretty much covers it for time. If anybody wants to find out more, I have a website where all this information is at. For brevity, I'll wrap it up, but you can go to deciphering.tv. I've documented all of this stuff, and information is available.
Awesome.
Okay, so what do you think about that?
So, bro, the one that really got me was when they were talking about the earthquakes. They were like, we know this is what triggers it, right? So they have the power to do it.
They have the technology to do it. That's wild, right?
Well, how?
And you know what's crazy? What tripped me out even more is they found out by accident. Is right when they turned it on. That's when it fucking
Turn that shit off.
Where the fuck was it? Fuck. I forgot where it was at, but they turned it on and they fucking caused it. I think it was in New Zealand, right? Or, fuck, I forgot. I'm sorry. I fucking totally forgot. But once they turned it on, it fucking caused an earthquake on the other side of the world. What's going on?
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? Like,
maybe it could be a coincidence. No?
I don't fucking. But he said it, bro. He's like, we figured out, we turned it on and this shit. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
That's wild. But now, then he went on to say, like, now we know, like, this shit causes fucking earthquakes, bro. Like, we know how to cause an earthquake. I don't know if they're able to pinpoint it now. I'm sure the more they fucking fuck with it,
they gotta test it.
They're gonna test where the fuck they want the earthquake to hit. So, but he did say, like, that's now a technology we have to look out for.
That they have.
They have that technology. Like, you know what? We want to cause an earthquake in fucking China. It's fucking boop, boom, fucking earthquake in China, right? Like, that's concerning.
And it looks pretty legit, bro. It looks like a high tech like environment. They have like.
That's, bro. The way they're fucking saying this shit sounds very fucking legitimate and very
5G.
Professional and very like.
Can't even get signal out
These
here.
guys are straight up military, bro. You could tell. You could especially the fucking Marine, bro. Fucking Michael Herrera.
Yeah.
He came out saying like, nah, these guys had this, this, and this and this in 2009. You know what I mean? Like
in each video I seen, they look like shooken. Like they're like afraid.
They're
to
scared,
speak out.
bro.
Yeah.
All of these people that are coming out are scared. That's why Dr. Greer is coming out saying like, you guys need to pursue these fucking people, charge them for crimes against humanity, and protect these fucking whistleblowers. Bro, there's fucking a shit. Almost, how much was it? Like 757 or some shit like that? Let me see. 752 witness testimonies.
But those are the ones who actually came out. I'm sure there's plenty of people who don't want to speak.
And at the end of this, they even like a couple of these, like Michael Herrera, I believe he came on and said like, you guys need to come out and fucking, you know, once we get this shit going, come out and say what the fuck you know. You know what I mean? Like, there's a few people that worked in Area 51 too, in these testimonies. So that's why I strongly encourage you guys to watch this shit because it's fucking crazy as fuck. It's insane the amount of like detail that's in this shit. You guys need to just check it out because it's fucking crazy. It's crazy as fuck.
But it's like, so I've heard other things. I don't know how true it is, but I've heard there's aliens like popping out of the oceans. But these are just like some areas where people just happen to be by. It's not like somewhere where it's always being tracked. It's just somewhere they happen to be by and they see shit. But a lot of people believe they live underneath us, not even
in the sky.
They're not in the sky, they're underneath.
I think it could be possible. I mean, I know like what you're talking about specifically.
It's a conspiracy theory.
Because like I read that in a book. So specifically, what you're saying, how they go into water. There's this book. It's called Behold a Pale Horse. I believe that's what it's called. I'll link it up here. That book is fucking insane, bro. So it's this dude. He was in the military like in the 90s, and she was I believe he was in the Navy. But he comes out speaking on everything. And it's a very fucking good book. I suggest that book to everyone. I'll let you borrow it. It's fucking crazy, bro. It's a trip. But he speaks on that. He was on the fucking submarine. No, on the naval ship, sorry. On the naval ship, and he's seen the UFO come out of the water. But there is multiple. I think even Christopher Columbus came out fucking saying some shit like that, homie.
It was racist, nah.
Fuck, bro. I could be wrong. I don't want to fucking... But in one of his books, I think, and you know, obviously he has journals and shit. Let me look that up real quick.
That's a fucking cool ass.
I think he fucking came out saying some fucking crazy shit like that.
I never heard about that last one.
Let me see.
I don't know who got fucking canceled.
You fucking canceling the fucking dude that discovered the fucking USA and shit. Damn it, where is it? I want to say it was him. I know it was a fucking dude that.
Yeah. No, but just my logic, bro. I'm thinking like, all right, so these guys, you know, they're in space and stuff. So
right.
They're not like human beings. They don't breathe how we breathe. We need oxygen to breathe. And where's the one place we have on Earth that has no oxygen or little to no oxygen?
Ocean.
It's all the way deep down in the ocean. So I could believe that, but that's just my sense of thinking real quick. I don't obviously know all the science behind it. I don't know all the facts, but I've heard those theories, and I'm like, I could see that. You know what I mean? I could see how that would make more sense than just floating in the sky where we actually have satellites everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of theories, too, that's saying that Earth is hollow.
Like the core?
Yeah. So, I mean, what if... This is going way off fucking topic, sorry, but there's a theory that says that, you know... There was a pilot, actually, I forgot his fucking name, god damn it. He was flying, and I believe it was in Antarctica that he flew to. And I'll go back to the Columbus shit right now, don't let me forget. He flew, and he seen a huge fucking hole, right? And he went into it. And he said that when he fucking flew in, it was like something grabbed the hold of his fucking plane and made him land, right? And when he went in there, he said that these fucking people were obviously alien in nature, but looked very human-like, kind of like very similar, but they were not human, and they were fucking tall as fuck. Yeah. And they were very very friendly. He said, mind you, he was able to leave, and he wrote a fucking book about it. Right? He wrote it, and he talked about it on his deathbed too, bro.
They just let him leave.
Yeah, homie, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah. Peace out, son.
Thanks for visiting.
Here's a bottle of wine right here, bro. Bring it back.
Is that? No, that's a whole nother subject.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm thinking
The Hollow Earth theory. We'll go into that, but that's a little story about a pilot. This is a fucking book. You guys could look this shit up. He went into that shit. They caught him in the fucking whatever the fuck it was. It took control of his fucking plane, landed him, and they greeted him, right? And he said they were fucking tall as fuck. They're like giants. That's what he described. But he ended up fucking. I don't know how the fuck he got out. I don't know. You know what I mean? This happened a long fucking time ago. I want to say it was around the same time, like in the 40s, maybe that time, when people were able to explore and shit. Like, when did Amelia Earhart happen? Do you remember? I don't know.
Sometime in the...
It was during, like...
The woman power empowerment.
Was it?
Movement.
When was that? I don't remember the dates.
It was during the war, because that's when women...
That's when all women were there, huh?
That's when they were working, and then...
Yeah. So it had to be in the 40s, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean... That's when all that shit was going on. So they were able to explore and, fly wherever the fuck they wanted to fly before they had all these, like, you can't fly here, no fly zones and all that shit. So this motherfucker did that. So it's, as what you're saying, them going into the ocean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
With that theory, right? With the Hollow Earth theory.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I didn't know about that, but yes.
It makes sense, right?
Now that you said it, yes.
Yeah, it connects. Right?
Is that Bermuda Triangle? That's a whole other thing.
That's a whole other fucking topic, dog. I don't know.
That could be like
I haven't really looked into that crazy. Like, imagine?
I'm just thinking off the top of my head right now.
For sure.
I'm like trying to connect dots, like that could be something else.
Yeah. Like the guy on fucking It's Sunny in Philadelphia. Like, yeah, I don't know if y'all fucking
Yeah, it all fucking makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, but it's just a trip to fucking think about, right? As far as that shit. But
yeah, it's not like we're coming off of it. This has been said before. Journey to the center of the earth, it's all through water. So water somehow takes you into this. You've seen the movie, right?
Yeah. Water's Chaka, but water's the lube, bro.
Water's the fucking key, bro. Nobody else has explored it.
It says right here, journalists helped prove that Columbus and his ships were repeatedly visited by aliens as they made their way across Atlantic in 1492. So it's something you guys could look up. I don't know if it's fucking debunked or what the fuck, but it's in his fucking journals. Check it out. But anyway, back to the fucking topic at hand.
Yeah. I'll talk.
Yeah. There's a lot of other shit that I want to get into, but you guys need to watch that whole fucking video. 3 hours is a lot, I know. But I feel like that's something that you guys need to see for yourself. It's, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to use all these clips to take over the fucking podcast, right? But you guys need to check it out. Just look up Dr. I don't know. Anyway, just look up Dr. Greer. Dr. Stephen Greer, June 12th, 2023, and you will find his whole fucking video. Hopefully, YouTube doesn't take it down. I'm gonna fucking download it, and if they do take it down, I'm gonna post it on Rumble, and we're gonna post our shit on Rumble too, just in fucking case. Okay, we're gonna post all our shit everywhere, just in case we say some fucking word or some bullshit that they want to fucking take us down for. We'll be on another platform as well. But I feel like this shit, check it out. It's a fucking trip. It's a mind fuck, that's for sure. They have a lot of drawings and they have a lot of 3D renders based on those drawings to kind of give you guys a visualization what these people seen as they're telling their story. So it makes it like, I guess, believable. Obviously, this is some way out shit, right? This is some way out shit. It's very hard to grasp.
But not if it's happened to more than one person.
There's a shitload of people.
Yeah, so
There's a shitload of people.
it does make sense after, like, so many people come forward.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense to one person, like, oh, yeah, they like the attention. But after so many people come forward.
And they match.
Yeah.
They click
That's
together.
the most important thing. Yeah.
Like, it makes, and that's what the Dr. Greer fucking emphasizes on, is like, these are different stories from different people from fucking different parts in the nation, and they all fucking match. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, that Michael Herrera fucking, where that container, he didn't know what it was. He thought it was for drugs, but someone else's story fucking let him know, like, no, that's for fucking people. Like, they worked with those containers, like, personally. They know what it was for. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
But
It's scary, bro.
it's definitely scary, bro.
Might be digging into something we don't want to know about.
I don't know. But fuck it. We're always going to push for that shit.
That's Amazon next day. Nah.
And I'm going to try to edit this as quickly as possible because I want this to be out as fresh as it is. You know what I mean? And I know we've lagged it a little bit. But it's fucking crazy. You know what I mean? This shit is insane to me. But at the same time, too, me being a skeptic, like I said, like we were talking about, like, with all the political shit that's going on right now, I don't know if this is just a distraction. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if, like, this is just like, hey, look over here. Because I know the government's known for doing that shit. And that's what's kind of fucking concerning, you know what I mean?
I mean, if they release it to the public, they've known for some time. It's not
Absolutely.
Like, it's not like they just heard it,
Absolutely.
like an hour ago. It's like they've been sitting on this for a while.
Yeah, I agree. Mind you, a lot of this shit that Dr. Greer talks about is based on the shit that was man-made. It's not at all. Like, he don't get me wrong, he touches on fucking extraterrestrials, aliens, whatever you want to call them. But he speaks on them as being peaceful, they're not hostile at all. But all this shit that's, all these other witnesses, these are people in the military witnessing shit that our government or parts of our government, their secret government, is doing behind our government's back, which is fucking crazy.
Someone got to them first.
Yeah.
And someone's taking advantage. And
So,
obviously keeping
I think that's what,
secrets.
Yeah, I think that's what this whole press thing was about. Was to let people know, like, hey, fucking aliens are real. UFOs are legit. Mind you, he said that they know that there's an existence of 60 to 70 different fucking species of aliens as well. What? I forgot to fucking say that. What? I should have started off with that shit, right? That's fucking crazy, right? They know of 60 to 70 different fucking species of aliens.
I didn't know that.
I didn't fucking know that, homie. That's what this guy's saying. Based on all these fucking, all this shit, all this 33 years of fucking, research and all this shit, is that he said that they know of 60 to 70 different species of aliens, which is fucking crazy to think about.
I mean, I could believe it if they're peaceful.
He says they're all peaceful.
Yeah, so they could live amongst one another.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we found a species who were like smarter than us, like monkeys,
homie, we test monkeys.
We'll cage
what the
them.
fuck think we?
You will get caged. Oh, you can speak sign language. You speak behind a piece of glass.
What do we do with chimps, homie?
Oh yeah, you test on them because they're as close as humans with us. Because we are.
So I mean, this like the first whistleblower fucking sorry, let me go back to his name, David Grush. He came out saying, like he said, they had the pilots and the fucking UFOs and shit. So that's another thing that tripped me out too, is like all this shit happened like back to back, and all of it matches. You know what I mean? Like he said, like, yeah, the government fucking
You can't make this shit up.
At least
bro.
12, yeah. And then all of a sudden, like,
so-
not even 3-4 days later, Dr. Greer comes out with his shit. Like, we know they fucking have them. We know exactly. We have schematics for these fucking this aircraft, right?
30.
They know how they work.
I got
you know?
30 years, son. Like,
Yeah, like
tell me something I don't know.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Which it's crazy to me, bro.
I gotta check up on this guy. He's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah, hope he's good.
I know, bro. I wanna keep tabs on all these dudes, and I wanna see if there's like some weird like suicide or some bullshit.
Hit him up. Bring him on here.
That'd be sick, bro. But I feel like this guy is like already.
Yeah,
He's
on the radar.
I know I seen him on TikTok, Dr. Greer specifically. I seen him on TikTok a couple of times, like talking about some crazy way out shit. I was like, this guy's fucking. This sounds crazy. He says shit that's so fucking crazy that you're like, this is fake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like.
But he backs it up.
Absolutely.
Right? So he can back it up.
He has documents and then witnesses.
No
and shit
normal
to
person
back
would
what
hear
he's
him
saying.
out right away. Off the point.
So that's what makes it fucking crazy. You know what I mean? Like it's. he's
That's
able to
probably
back
why they're
those
just letting him.
facts. Well, that's what I'm saying.
They're
like,
just
now-
letting him loose.
Well, now, yeah. Well, now that he's saying like Congress is asking for this kind of information, they're actually like they want to know like what the they pretty much like I don't want to say a task force, but they want to fucking be like, let's get to the bottom of this kind of shit. What the fuck is going on? You know what I mean? So that's why he came on and he says like now that they know that they want to know, I have fucking 33 years worth of fucking investigations and shit to show you, proof, names, fucking addresses, everything, bro. Like he has everything for them to prosecute all these motherfuckers, and that's what he wants. He wants to be able to prosecute these people for crimes against humanity, and that's his goal. You know what I mean? He wants to do that, get rid of these fucks, right? That are benefiting from it, like in an ugly way, and he wants to be able to be in contact with, the extraterrestrial. Be like, look, this is, you know what I mean? Because you got to think about it, homie. Like, an alien of a higher being is seeing what the humans are using their technology for, which is the Michael Herrera story. It's human trafficking. Why the fuck would they want to be in contact with us? You know what I mean? Them being a peaceful race and like, why?
They don't know how we are. We're corrupt.
No, they know how we are, and that's why they don't want to fucking talk to us. That's what I'm saying. Like, they're like, fuck these. They're like, they probably think of us like we think of chimps, homie. Like, these guys are fucking wild as fuck. They're wild animals. They don't know what the fuck. You know what I mean? Like, to them, we're very fucking minute. We're not there yet.
They're just being nice, feeding us little things. But as a doctor's perspective, I could see he just wants to learn. He's not trying to take advantage of these people.
Yeah.
But if it gets in the wrong hands,
and it always does. That's what sucks, bro.
Someone is always.
There's always some greedy ass motherfucker that you know what I mean. That sucks. But
That's me now. So how am I gonna get rich now?
Well, I don't know, man. Well, as far as that's all I got.
No, I learned a lot today.
It's a lot of shit.
That's some good shit.
Some.
I gotta look into that 3-hour video.
Yo, homie, it's fucking insane, bro. It's.
Yeah, probably gotta call into work.
I was like, what the fuck is going on here, bro? Because it's so detailed. It's so fucking detailed, and it's a trip. For sure, it's a trip. But it is. I mean, it just shows how ugly humans are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the picture.
It puts
they
all the
painted.
bullshit aside, and it's like, oh man, like I could see a better future for human beings.
100%. You just get rid of the cancer. That's it. That's part of our humanity. Get rid of it, and we'd be able to prosper. Because you got to think about like us, an average person, homie, doesn't want to hurt anyone. You know what I mean? They just want to live happily with their family, peacefully.
Yeah,
I feel like
everyone wants to do their own thing.
Yeah,
but
like,
some things you can't control. That's what fucks everything up.
Yep. But I mean, you put into the equation these corrupt fucking people that are just trying to benefit, greed, money. How am I gonna make more money? It's gonna fuck everything up. That's the equation. That's the variable in the equation that always fucks it up. It's greed.
There's always one.
Mm-hmm. So we went into, the whole little Las Vegas alien crash, supposedly. I don't know if that's real still. What do you think that's real?
Just the most recent thing. I would like for it to be real. I would like this more improvement. I would like it to keep going, just to keep learning more things.
Yeah.
But if it's fake, like, I wouldn't be surprised as well.
100%. Like, for me, I think that if aliens were to come in contact with us more and more, I think, what I think would be the trigger for them is us tapping into AI. Because we were creating a whole other fucking thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like a whole other species, bro. If you think about it, if it becomes sentient.
I'm sure it has.
Gotcha. Like,
Hey,
right?
Look at what we did.
Yeah.
While you were gone. No.
Yeah. So I think if they do tap into, us trying to communicate with us, I think that would be the reason why. Because we're tapping into a whole other shit. Right? And even as we think right away when we think of AI and all that shit, them advancing, we think of like Terminator, them taking over, them destroying us, kind of shit. So why wouldn't they? You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's probably the only reason that I would think they want to talk to us now, because we're tapping into this AI shit, which is crazy. Episode 1, if you guys haven't seen it. Or heard it. Sorry, it's only on Spotify. That's, my way of thinking. But, I don't know. But, yeah, the Las Vegas thing, I want it to be real. You know what I mean? Like, it would be a fucking trip. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if it was real. But it's just a trip to think about. And then we went into the whole David Grush of him and, him exposing the fucking government. But yeah, then we went into Dr. Greer's whole 3-hour fucking expose, which I highly recommend all you guys check that out, because it's fucking crazy as fuck. Very detailed. It's crazy. But like I said, I don't know where I'm at yet, because I'm kind of skeptical about this whole thing. I don't know what the fuck's going on, because you got a million things going on in the world. I don't know what the fuck is real anymore. Because you got the whole fucking... Everything's going down, like it's a downward spiral, especially with the United States. You got the currency fucking falling. You got the whole BRICS nation, which is another thing I want to cover, trying to take over fucking... You got all these wars talking about, with China and Russia. You got, this whole political fucking scheme, political bullshit with the previous president and the president that's current in office. You got a lot of shit going on. So I don't know what the fuck to believe anymore. That's where I'm at right now. So I just wanted to bring this up because I felt like this was fucking interesting, and it puts me in a very weird mindset, and that's why I wanted to bring it up. But I mean, we shared a couple of videos with you guys from that 3-hour press conference, just to kind of show you guys where we're at mentally, because it's a fucking trip to hear from someone, because you can't just make that shit up, right?
No, definitely not.
That's something you can't make up, bro. That's like very detailed, very fucking detailed, down to drawings, which would trip me out even more. But I mean, that's what this podcast is about, right? I mean, we share what the fuck's going on, and we kind of share our perspective on everything, right?
Trying to uncover something that's not seen every day. Because obviously you're going to see the same thing every day. Some politicians did something this and that.
That's all it's in the news now.
Yeah, that's the new. Well, they're trying to get viewers, so that's all.
Clickbait.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Clickbait.
100%.
That's what it is. So it's not even real journalism anymore. And that's where we lost out of touch with. And that's what that movie Nightcrawler is about. Just literally
Great
what's
fucking
most
movie.
exciting. It's not even a fucking.
It's a great movie. Yeah.
It's not what. That's not what it's about. It's about informing the.
It's about truth.
Yeah. But we lost out of touch with that.
100%.
That's why we're just two normal guys, bro.
Mm-hmm.
We're just trying to see what we're all thinking, but nobody's putting it out there.
Yep. And again, we want to emphasize that we are not experts in anything. We're just fucking telling you, you're two average dudes drinking a couple brews, that you know what we think. Because I feel like, why not? Right? I mean, I feel like I'm having conversations with you guys. This is something that I love to do. I like to pick fucking brains and think what I like to think, see what, you know, my brother-in-law thinks and shit. So it's like, off camera, we do this shit all the time. So I figured, why not put it on fucking camera and have it with fucking with the fucking crowd, right? I mean,
They just point some cameras at us.
yeah, let's point some cameras at us, but we genuinely want you guys to interact with us. Tell us if we're full of shit. Tell us if you fucking agree with us. Either way, I feel like that is healthy. It's healthy for you. It's healthy for people to have agreements and disagreements. It's healthy to have different opinions. It's healthy to have different opinions mold your opinions. Because I feel like that's what makes us human. It's a healthy thing to do. And I welcome it. And I love it. But
Oh shit.
You
We
got
had two
anything
more.
else?
We had two more. No, I'm good. Wrong for it. I'm drunk. I had a good time. I learned a lot today, and I like this subject.
absolutely. And I think we're going to have to touch on it a few more times in the future.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because I feel like a lot more shit's going to come out after this.
I know, right? Watch tomorrow, something
I
and pop
know.
up.
But,
Thank you. Subscribe. Fucking.
yeah. Make sure you guys subscribe. Tell everyone about the podcast.
We could go into a part 2 if more stuff
It
comes
will.
up.
I guarantee you it will.
Yeah.
It'll come into a fucking part 2 for sure. I fucking know
For sure.
already.
We'd have a fucking alien here next week.
Like on fucking, what's it called? The Watch? I'm like,
Yeah. Oh shit.
But until the next round, keep pondering those views, keep pouring those brews. This is Perspectives on Tap.